Hey everyone! Um, on today's episode of Sit Down by the Fire on Eric's channel, first time, I guess this is the second time in a half, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
But we promised that we will have a watch party for fellow friend of the show, Rich. His YouTube channel is Director Screenwriting, but we will be watching his movie that has premiered today on Tubi.
Yep, and it's called Final Heist.
And Rich is also the guy that's going to be writing Dracula versus the Frankenstein's monster. So,
Simba.
and I guess Simba wanted to watch it with us. So, Eric. So, Eric, are you ready?
I am. Are you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna count to 3.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna hit play.
Okay.
So when I say play, you play. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, play.
For it to load.
I'm on the loading screen too. I have a stupid ad.
I got a basketball ad.
I got a John Cena ad. Am I coming in okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So just keep in mind we'll probably get ads for this, but hey, we're here to support Rich. So
we are.
I'm okay with watching ads. If you guys aren't, then well, too bad.
Yeah, if not, then we don't know what else to tell you.
Okay, I have the movie. Are you good?
Yep.
Okay.
Some girl in shades and Jasmine.
I think we're a few seconds delayed, but whatever.
Oh well.
We can't add up perfectly. Lucky Penny Pictures.
So last one, right?
Yeah, that's one.
Never heard of them until now, but hey, that's okay though.
Yeah. Got a girl holding her stomach.
You really want this guy?
So,
she won't be kicking for nothing.
You know, this is kind of a commentary watch party, but it's also kind of a part of a podcast. So Eric and I will probably talk about stuff, other stuff too. But so Eric, how was your day?
It was interesting. I did a lot of schoolwork, and you told me about those phone calls. But that's a different story for another day.
Yeah. It was just interesting for me, you know. I had to just, you know, just talk to a friend of mine who's going through a hard time. But
right.
It's been interesting. Let's just say that.
Oh, I believe it.
Hey, Weaver, you gotta take a leak. No, sorry, man. Drink too much coffee.
I can relate. Coffee peas are the worst for me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What's even worse is, as you get older, pop peas.
Listen, Joe. Right now,
well, I'm not really much of a soda drinker anyway.
Pressure plate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you could say that's so depressing.
What do you want?
Man, you're not even a dad, and you made a dad joke.
Yeah.
Is there something you want to tell us, dude?
Me?
Yeah, because you just made a dad joke.
Well, I may not have a human kid, but I have a dog kid.
There you go.
Hi everybody, it's me Simba. Hi.
Gravy, are you gonna say hi to people?
Do I love you more?
You know, as soon as you try to call a cat over, they just completely ignore you.
Well,
or they walk away.
Happy now.
Alarms are on. Just time an alarm was triggered. They know you're there.
Wait, who triggered the alarm?
Hey, so if we get a copyright claim for doing a watch party for this, could Rich back us up?
so what? Sorry.
If we get a copyright claim for this, could Rich back us up?
Okay,
I
brother.
think so because we're not actually showing footage of it.
Why not?
Hey, Ghost Rider. Yes,
Hey.
Ghost Rider. I did see the trailer.
Just gonna get in the van.
I've been meaning to
drive away.
record a video about it,
Nobody has to get hurt.
but yeah, I did see the trailer. It already looks a lot better than the original movie. You can tell that it has a bigger budget, and yeah, all in all, it looks a lot better than the original movie. And my favorite part, when I believe Winnie the Pooh or Tigger says, "Hello, Christopher," that sent shivers down my spine.
Yeah, Ghost Rider and Daniel, this, in case you guys want to watch the movie, this is Final Heist. It's on Tubi. And all of you should have Tubi because Tubi is free.
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it, which is why Tubi is so popular. But there's a catch, though. They have to make ends meet, so you have to watch ads throughout, at sometimes throughout the movie. But hey, it's their way of making ends meet.
And I'm okay with watching ads as long as they're good ads. And Tubi at least has good commercials, I would say. They don't have stupid commercials, right?
Right.
And we'll do a review probably after the movie to give our thoughts on it. And we're going to be honest, you know, even though we like, Rich can actually take criticism, you know, so we're going to probably review it after the movie. But
hey, I did see that this movie did get a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb. I mean, make of that what you will, but that's pretty darn good.
especially for a Tubi original. Usually with Tubi, you don't get long ads.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. Like, the ads for Tubi movies, it's really not that long at all.
I love how with this, like it kind of with the little intro here, it kind of has like a James Bond feel.
Yeah, like to me, it feels like a mix of Fast and the Furious, the later Fast and the Furious movies, with James Bond, and also feels like, what was that heist movie that had Edward Norton in it and Charlize Theron? What was that movie called?
Italian Job.
That sounds right. Yeah, it also kind of feels like.
I think that's what Rich said it was on Fabio's channel. It's Italian Job meets James Bond.
Okay,
So,
well that's interesting.
so that might be kind of cool.
I don't like long ads. Yeah, Ghost Rider, trust me. I get it, 100%. Written by Rich Pierce.
Way to go!
Here to support you, Ted. Oh well, of course, the director, of course, Ted. But also, yeah, I misspoke. Sorry. Here to support you, Rich. Did you see Oswald? Oh, I didn't hear about the Oswald the rabbit horror movie. I guess I'm not surprised since Oswald is in the public domain. But yeah, I don't believe it's in the same universe as Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I know Pinocchio, like this new Pinocchio horror movie is. I think it's called something Strong. Yeah, I know the Bambi horror movie is in the same universe as Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
You know what? Somebody's gonna make it Winnie the Pooh, Amityville.
Yep. Yeah, since Winnie the Pooh is now public domain, I mean,
And Amityville by default is public domain because it's public record.
Man, isn't it such a crazy time to be alive, knowing that we are alive to see Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse, Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, go into the public domain.
Well, we
What
live
a
in
time to be alive, right?
we live in interesting times. I feel like every generation has said that at some point. Oh, we live in interesting times, so.
But I mean, but the thing is,
it is interesting.
but other generations didn't get to see really big name characters go into the public domain like Winnie.
Well, before Mickey Mouse and you know, all the other characters are going to go public domain. Keep in mind, Dracula was public. With people that see Dracula go public domain along with Frankenstein. So,
yeah, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein book, as far as my knowledge goes, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was public domain even when they made the Boris Karloff film. Now, if I'm wrong, fine, but I think the Frankenstein book has been public domain a lot longer than Dracula has.
Well, yeah, because there's like a 79-year age difference between them.
Yep, and unless if I'm wrong, Dracula was one of the last big name characters to go into the public domain for the longest time.
So hold on, let me see.
I think it's pretty clear.
I hope there'll be an emotional moment with the Pooh Blood and Honey too. I'm pretty sure that there will be, especially considering that there was that shot in the trailer where Christopher Robin is at his therapy appointment. So I think that there probably will.
Shout out to fellow friend of the show, Nikolai Leon.
Yeah, Nikolai Leon. Shout out to you, man. If you're happen to watch this.
Because he totally watches us.
But yeah, it is a shame by the fact that Nikolai isn't coming back for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, but
this guy looks like this Warden looks like a cross between Kevin Kline and Burt Reynolds.
He does. Holy crap! I never thought of it that way.
Look at him. He just looks like Kevin Kline and Burt Reynolds with a big head. I'm not insulting the guy. I'm just making a comment, you know.
Right.
Man, and look at him. He's a bad warden. He's allowing violence in his prison.
Yes, okay.
What?
Made a choice for Sophia. I thought.
Man, that little girl better not die.
For Sophia, if she believed she was.
I hope not, because that would be sad.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. You know, I get rich is getting paid, but that's gonna honestly bug me.
Yeah, and what I find funny is that people will be okay with seeing adults and teenagers get killed in movies, but when it's a dog or a kid, that's where they draw that line.
Well, I think that, you know, it's because, I mean, this is going to sound harsh, and I'm not meaning to sound harsh. I think it's because children and pets are innocent. Like, you know, a child is still a child, and a pet is kind of a pet. I think when you're a teenager, you kind of develop your jerkish thing.
Yeah.
And then when you're obviously an adult, you're a jerk. You can be a jerk regardless. It takes a lot for a child to be a jerk.
People rarely have little kids get killed in movies, which I understand. Yeah, definitely, because a lot of times they'll get backlash for that. Like, I remember when I saw Halloween 2018 in theaters, there was that brief moment where you think Michael Myers is going to kill that baby. Now, Michael Myers is evil enough where he would kill the baby, but I get why that they didn't have him do it because the filmmakers would have gotten so much backlash for that. So I totally get why that they didn't have Michael Myers kill the baby in there. And Ghost Rider says, I think Rabbit will be in Christopher Robin. It's possible. I also think Owl will be on Christopher Robin's side because Owl, from the Winnie the Pooh lore, is supposed to be the voice of reason. So I think Owl may be on his side too. And hey, Land Before Time. But yeah, me and Junebug are watching a friend of ours movie on Tubi. It's called Final Heist. If you all want to join us and watch the movie, you can. And you don't have to worry about paying anything because it's on Tubi.
This person didn't need anyone's protection.
The acting in this movie is pretty good.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Lost.
Lucky.
Yeah.
You think Owl will turn good? It's possible, but I also won't be surprised like if Owl is gonna go insane either, because it is a Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
I would know that.
Gordon? Came here for something very specific.
Yeah, sorry about that interruptions, people.
Oh, that's all right.
The dog. Still trying to find that dog's off switch. No. Yeah, no, the acting's pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, and the camera, you could tell it's done on a lower budget because of the camera, but yet
it kind of that does, well, camera quality doesn't really affect the movie. It just,
well,
you know,
I'm not saying that makes or breaks a movie because, you know, considering that this has better camera quality like than my first two things that piss me off movies. What I'm saying is that you can tell it's done on a lower budget because of the camera, but yet it still feels mainstream enough.
well, it kind of adds to it in some ways too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What decision is that?
So, if you were to answer Ghost Rider's question for Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2, do you think Owl is going to turn good in the sequel, or do you think he's just going to be evil?
Who?
So, Owl is going to be in Winnie the Pooh Blind Honey 2, and Owl's supposed to be the voice of reason. Do you think Owl's going to turn good, or is Owl going to...
Who?
Owl.
Who? Yes. I was waiting to see how long you would actually fall for that one. Not all owls are smart. No, I think that it's a possibility because you need people. It's the arc of storytelling. You need the Van Helsing to Dracula character, and the only one that really fits that is Owl. I mean, maybe Rabbit, maybe, but Owl would be the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah, definitely. And so Reese Frank Waterfield wrote the script for the original, but he's not writing the script for the sequel. So I really think that the sequel has a chance to be a huge improvement over the original movie. Oh, excuse me.
Life we're talking about. She's 6 years old. She's got her whole life ahead of her.
I understand, Mrs. Grissom. I really do. But we're talking about consent and a person like your husband who's
Weird.
believe he if consent, he would do anything for his little girl.
You know for a fact. How many years has it been since we're talking about heart tissue. Something like that would take a 40-year-old.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's get a court order because right now you're telling me you're not even going to try.
My baby was in trouble. And
Sounds like a movie that's.
Your husband is serving 25 life.
I think this is the only way.
Jurassic Floyd, hey, what's up, man?
No, she's gonna 6 years and she finally registered.
But yeah, we're watching a movie called Final Heist.
The only thing
We know the guy who wrote the script. But yeah, if you want to join us and watch it, you can. The movie is on Tubi.
Wait, I'm in training. You training is not being a responsible adult. Why don't you try it sometime? Wait, you two kept in touch? Yeah. What do you? Am I the only one who stuck to the plan? We haven't talked to Haley.
Oh, excuse me.
So, you actually want to break into a place that we've been avoiding all of our lives? No one would expect it. It's Sophia's last chance. Once the judge makes his decision...
The girl there on the chair outside talking, she kind of looks like the female version, like of Hans from the Fast and the Furious films.
Yeah, I could see it. Again, sorry, folks. Interruptions. You know, it's okay. Well,
That's right.
but
yeah,
literally the only place to watch Tubi and streaming stuff is on the main TV at my house. So,
I will say this: the way how they brought back Hans in Fast and the Furious 9 was stupid. So you're going to tell me it was just a magic trick when he clearly died in Tokyo Drift, and so you're going to tell me that everything the characters went through to avenge his death in all the movies after Tokyo Drift was all for nothing?
pretty much. Like even if you made it like where like Han has a twin brother named Solo or something, you know, at least I could sit there and say, okay, this is a different character, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're doing the twin brother angle, a cliche, but Fast and Furious itself right now is a cliche.
It is, and it was cool the first time when they brought back Michelle Rodriguez from the dead, like in Fast 5, I believe. But then the problem was they continuously were doing that for other characters too. And then when I saw Fast X in theaters, when they killed off John Cena, I'm like, they didn't really kill him off.
That's the problem with tricking the audience and killing off multiple characters, is there's no emotional attachment to the death. That's one of the reasons why I argue that, like with Endgame, and one of the reasons that I did not like it is because we all know as an audience member, it's why comic books and movies are different mediums. There's no emotional impact because we know eventually they're going to be bringing back Iron Man or Captain America. Maybe not with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, but we know that eventually they're going to have those characters back because it's just the lore of comic books. Has anybody in a comic book, this is a question for the chat and anybody in the comments here for Eric's channel, has any Marvel character or DC character or even Dark Horse actually died, like stayed dead in comic books and never to be brought back? An actual superhero. Because I can think of one.
And Before Time says, I did a tinfoil and Anakin's. Well, that's cool. But yeah, imagine if in Lion King, imagine that, Mufasa didn't actually die.
It was a conspiracy.
Yeah, big conspiracy. Like, yeah, like, if they did that, that right there would ruin Simba's character arc.
Now, I guess you could kind of argue it. I guess you could kind of argue in Lion King that they kind of hinted that Mufasa was alive in spirit, but that's different.
Yeah, exactly. Being alive in spirit's a lot different than like, oh, he didn't actually die. He was alive the entire time.
Right. What is,
Do I think Tigger was locked in prison? I think so, especially with wearing that suit that he was wearing. And that will be a good way to explain why he wasn't in the original movie. But I do know why Tigger wasn't in the original movie. It was because Tigger was not yet in the public domain when they made the original movie. But since then, Tigger has become public domain. But it's not the Disney version, it's the A.A. Milne version. And Tigger in the original A.A. Milne book, he did bounce, but he did not bounce on his tail. Bouncing on his tail is something that Disney did. And as far as I can tell, Tigger's fur in the A.A. Milne books actually was yellow and not really orange.
But that's her job.
So
I'm kind of curious about. To be fair, I can't wait till hopefully maybe the third one or something. I think the kangaroo was in the books too, right?
that's a good question.
Because kangaroos, I want to see that movie, a killer kangaroo movie. Because kangaroos are vicious.
They are. You know, matter of fact, I'm curious. Have they ever made a horror movie about a killer kangaroo?
Eric will add it to the movie list if not.
Well, see, this is what I was talking about. This is the prison power plant that leads right into the infirmary. And the security cameras are here offline for system.
Wait, you can't access the cameras?
I can access the files, I can access the servers, but I cannot hack into the security system.
Okay, so that's the way to get into the building, but how do you get into the
That's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, there's a movie called Waterborne in 2014, which came out 10 years ago now.
Well,
Haley.
There's a movie called Rue in 2021. There is another horror movie about a kangaroo called The Red. So yeah, there are plenty of killer kangaroo horror movies out there.
Well, we can write the Citizen Kane of killer kangaroo movies.
There's even one from the 90s.
What's that one called?
Oh, wait, it's about a kangaroo hunter.
You'd have to be an idiot to hunt kangaroos, though, because those things can balance on their tails and kick you hard.
Yeah, and they also have claws, and
we're talking vicious claws too.
Yeah, you don't screw around with kangaroos.
I mean, kangaroos, you've seen it before, videos where kangaroos can actually box with humans. And they win all the time.
Yeah, they can screw you up. And yeah, from what I can tell, kangaroos are really muscular.
Yeah, well, and some kangaroos can get like up to 7 feet tall.
Yeah, don't mess with kangaroos.
Unless it's Kangaroo Jack.
I saw that movie in theaters with my friends Brian and Zach. That actually was my very first sleepover that I had with friends. And I remember me and them went to go see Kangaroo Jack. That was a long time ago. So
I'm sorry. It's just a line. Rich, I know you wrote this, but just the girl sits here and says, we're exposing ourselves. It makes me think Ghostbusters. And you don't want us exposing ourselves.
Ghost Rider, I can't believe a humanoid animal was locked in prison. Isn't it dangerous for humans to be around Tigger? But yeah, probably why that they were trying to keep him locked up is because I've heard Tigger in the new Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, he's supposed to be the most dangerous and most violent out of all of them.
I know the real.
Hey, Tony Montana, what's up, man? But yeah, we know a guy named Rich Pierce who's a scriptwriter. He actually wrote the script for a movie that we're watching. The movie's called Final Heist. It's on Tubi. So if you want to join, you totally can.
Or watch the movie at some point afterwards. It's called Final Heist. We're just doing this because we said we would have a watch party for the premiere. So, and Erica and I just got busy, so we're doing this later on in the night. But
hey, at least we're still doing it, right?
Yeah, and we're not a day late.
What are you doing here? You're picking up for a friend, right?
Okay, I'm getting a commercial about Little Caesars, and then like this guy is like talking to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like that reminds. I gotta give a shout out to Little Caesars because that almost reminds you like of '90s commercial. That's a commercial that's so stupid, but it that's funny.
I can see that. And Ghost Rider asks, "Do I think Pooh will keep Tigger in check?" Knowing that Winnie the Pooh also is evil in the movie, I don't think so. I think that will be Owl.
Who?
Who are you?
They're friends. Okay, they're old friends.
Just choose an image from our library, then edit it. Expand this. Freeze that. Let your imagination.
What is going on?
And we'll take
My
care of
daughter's life is on the line.
it's just moving picture perfect posts,
Thank you for your concern.
campaigns, and more. If it's in your head, it's on our site. Go to shutterstock.com to start your next project.
The parking gate and I'm all out of whack. It's gonna take a lot more than a little ticket to get out of here. And if you have cut rate car insurance, this can leave you all bad shape. So you know, and you better thank you for being yeah, like me. I'm broken too now.
Well, this camera shot's awfully shaky with him. Just a shot of just a guy riding the motorcycle.
I'm still on commercials.
Oh wait, it's not a guy. Sorry, it's a girl. I mean, to be fair, in my defense, they were wearing that helmet.
Brass fed and brass finished meat stick.
So yeah, so it was harder.
I'm going to shut up because I could make a bad joke.
Learn more. House.com.
Sorry I'm late from Tony, but hey man, it's totally fine. No issue. Ghost Rider asks, do I think Hook will be in the Peter Pan horror movie? Probably.
I hope so because you can't really have Peter Pan without Hook.
Yeah, it would be weird. I think I heard a rumor saying that Craig David Dowsett was going to play Hook in the Peter Pan horror movie. But yeah,
I mean, that's considering that we know Craig. I guess it's one of those cases because I've only seen him as Winnie the Pooh. I'm gonna have to see him in other stuff, so I'm gonna say I'm not sure. I'm not saying he's gonna do a crappy job, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
I haven't seen him act with his face.
Yeah, since we've only seen him act with his body in the Winnie the Pooh.
And I think it's one of those cases where we're so used to Captain Hook being a little, Eric, what's a good word? Not crazy, but flamboyant?
I guess so. But yeah, I did see on Craig's Instagram that he actually is going to direct his first movie. And hey, that's amazing.
Congratulations to you, Craig. That's awesome.
Yeah, knowing he's a big horror movie fan, I have a feeling it's probably going to be a horror film. If it's not, then I'm going to be surprised.
Well, hopefully he can actually work with Robert Englund in it.
Yeah. That would be awesome. And yeah, and I can imagine him doing all these conventions, signing autographs, is probably helping to pay for the movie. And people will often complain about how expensive it is to buy autographs from all these from all these famous people. Now, do I get where they're coming from? Yes, but people also have to remember that that is how people like that make ends meet. Because
I think if I were charged for an autograph, like I honestly, I say $20.
That's fantastic.
yeah, I guess it depends on your financial situation. But yeah,
Despite financial situation, I would sit there and say $20 because
I told you, it's all very complicated.
sorry, folks, if you can hear the cat. It wants to go to bed.
oh, it's okay.
You know how animals are if you stay up too late and they want to go to bed, right?
Yeah.
Simba.
Yeah, Simba.
Of course, Simba probably is not like that. He probably just, if he wants to go to bed, he just say, fine, I'm going to go to sleep, Eric.
What I've been noticing, Simba was sleeping on the bed with me every night, but then, as of recently, whenever I go to bed, Simba then goes to sleep on my couch, and then he leaves my bed. I don't know why Simba's doing that.
Something is going on.
Did you piss him off?
I don't know.
Do you? I thought I was told you speak Doganese.
But yeah, crap. I was just gonna say something about autographs. But yeah, oh yeah. I recall what I was gonna say. If I had to pick either working the job I have now at the hospital or having my job be there signing autographs for people, nothing against my job, but I think I would rather be signing autographs. I mean, getting paid.
You thought that was a
good money just to sign autographs.
Learning to do this. Everything she knows.
But I'm not Haley. I'm afraid I'm cosplaying as a lady.
What did Haley tell you?
This one.
I got lost.
She wasn't like you. She didn't believe in you.
That
Okay.
guy was serious. That sheriff guy.
I think we're a few minutes behind because there's that one time I got more ads than you, but oh well.
But yeah, we can't really control that. And
Yeah.
goes where it says Hook will be good, then goes where it says good Hook versus evil Peter Pan. The tables have turned. That would be interesting. I believe that they did something like that in the show Once Upon a Time, where like they reverse roles. I mean, it's a very interesting concept.
Yeah.
I've heard of Once Upon a Time. I actually have not seen the show.
I remember my ex Chrissy was obsessed with that show, and she would want me to watch it a lot. Since we broke up, I haven't watched it ever since then. And you can probably imagine why.
I wonder why.
Seriously? Really? Oh, you cannot be serious. Well, it's gonna be a mix-up, definitely. How many guards are at the loading dock? Okay, so we hide in the truck, sneak into the loading dock. Really, you're gonna need to figure out a way to distract this guard until we get to leave, and I'm gonna need the key. I can get a key. The second a key goes missing,
I have to love my cat right now. It's not make. I would show you guys, but it's going to be such an awkward camera angle.
No,
But my cat is literally in front of the TV,
as many as you can.
almost blocking the TV right now.
Or add 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ad time.
Sometimes
It's an ad for Capella University.
Is it compelling?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's pronounced Capella or Capelli.
No, it's the ad compelling.
Oh. And Ghost Rider says, if Bambi versus Winnie the Pooh happens, do you think Bambi will be the good guy? It's possible, but it's possible that they could both be evil, but they could fight for various reasons. I mean, case in point with Freddy versus Jason, both of them are evil, but yet they still fought.
You know what I say if they make that movie?
What?
Oh dear.
But yeah, I mean, from what I heard, they eventually will do like a crossover because all those movies are supposed to be set in the same cinematic universe, and I'm not surprised that they're doing that because cinematic universes are all the craze nowadays.
Well, I mean, Eric and I have talked about after Dracula versus the monster, basically doing the Dark Universe correctly. We've talked about that.
Yeah, since by the time that since just a few years after when we do our movie, Dracula versus the Monster, the James Whale Invisible Man is going to become public domain, even though that the Invisible Man book already is in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait a while until Creature from the Black Lagoon finally becomes public domain.
We need to figure out some legal issues, like is Gilman trademarked?
Or maybe have a creature similar to Gilman, but different enough, and just don't call him Gilman.
I mean, you could call him.
Gil Human, or I don't know. I think Sleeping Beauty will be in the same movie. I never heard anything about them making a Sleeping Beauty horror movie, but I guess that they could.
That would be interesting considering Sleeping Beauty. It's actually my favorite Disney movie. Eric, I'm just making a statement here. I actually kind of have to appreciate Rich a little bit here because you're making like strong female characters here, like they're thieves. Everything. It's just like more like Ocean's 11 in some ways.
Oh yeah,
this is like the real Ocean's 8.
I never saw Ocean's 8, but
neither did I. But I was not interested in seeing it.
I wasn't either, and yeah, it was supposed to start off a whole new trilogy, but that didn't happen.
Right. I just find it funny that the female crew, Ocean's 8, they couldn't like make it. Even the males got more than the females in that crew, right?
Yep, and I guess we're not surprised we got an all-female Ocean's 11 reboot after the all-female.
But I'm really kind of liking this because this is like these girls have really good chemistry together.
Oh yeah.
And are they? Yeah, like you have two Asian girls and a black girl, but they're not making about. They're not drawing attention to it. You know what I mean? I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, which I definitely do appreciate that.
So
You're gonna have to do something about that. No, he's not gonna say anything. It's fine. Nothing.
okay, I'm getting a commercial about not vaping.
Well, that's interesting.
It couldn't be done.
It's a good thing I had dinner because now I'm getting a commercial about cookies. Oh, and then pretzels and churros too. The good thing I had dinner because otherwise, man, it's like, dang it, now I'm hungry.
Incredible new foot-long sidekick. Get one at Subway today.
Open if you want. Grab something for you.
I gotta say, very like catchy music.
Oh yeah.
Like has a good like jazz type of sound to it, but in a good way.
You want to check the bag?
Oh yeah. Definitely. So Cinderella's Curse will be a crazy movie. Isn't that going to be done by the same people who are doing the Winnie the Pooh horror movie? And I wouldn't blame Cinderella if she ended her. Yeah, definitely.
All set.
Thanks.
Last night.
But yeah, I can see why that they're turning all these children's stories into horror movies because it's already a recognizable brand.
And the originals were pretty much horror movies anyway.
Yeah, I mean, except Winnie the Pooh and Steamboat Willie, but yeah, but the original fairy tales, yes, especially the Little Mermaid. That one was dark.
Right.
Hey, kitty.
Smiles.
Oh.
I know. But together. Kind of work together. I mean, we work at the same place.
You know, animals always have to try to make their cameos in videos.
I mean, especially Simba with the Sarah Karloff thing.
Yeah.
Cinderella's Curse. Oh, that comes out April 4th.
You know that encrypted file? I finally got in. Lindsay, I thought I just a bunch of abuse complaints, like withholding patients' medications, unjust solitary confinement, and none of this was filed with the CDC. And he's been holding them in this encrypted file.
We know he's crooked, but how does that help us save Sophia?
Yes, it's direct. So it's produced by Scott Chambers, who's also the producer of the Peter Pan horror movie, Bambi, Winnie the Pooh. So I think that one's set in the same universe as Winnie the Pooh. So do you think Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 is going to be better than the original film?
It's going on.
Has the potential to be.
It's going on.
How would Cinderella meet
You don't work from home.
Pooh?
You don't have an
I know in the Disney movie, Cinderella had that magical wagon or whatever. I don't know if she did in the book or not. But if she did in the book, she could travel to the 100-acre woods and run into Pooh.
Fairy godmother could.
Yeah.
I mean, even I think that was in the original story, but even then, you can't really trademark a fairy. So, if
You literally have every other option, anything other than this insanity.
It is insane breaking into a prison. It ain't your first time for us breaking into a prison.
Let me handle this.
man, I would show show you guys another cat right now, but this cat is literally right in front of the TV. But then I was showing footage.
I'm doing this, Paul, and it's gonna work.
But yeah, I do know Reese Craig Waterfield, the director Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. He originally told me that he was going to do a Mickey Mouse horror movie, but then from what I heard, he chickened out. But now that someone else is doing 2 Mickey Mouse horror movies, I have a feeling that he is going to change his mind. And,
I think he's waiting to see what Disney does.
yeah, he's going to see if Disney will sue those people. And if they won't, then yes, I think that he will do it.
Right.
Ghost Rider. My crazy theory is that the fairy godmother created Pooh and his friends.
Make a video about that one, Ghost Rider. I want to see that.
I never thought of that, but it makes sense. It does make sense.
This donor, living or dead. It's a simple tissue extraction, in and out, quick.
Oh.
That kind of procedure takes some time. 5K to start. Another 25K in the day. 50K.
That older guy kind of looks like John Malkovich.
Discretion costs.
I don't know if you've gone to that yet, but yeah, that older guy looks like John Malkovich. And with it being in a meat factory, it instantly makes me think of the Ed Wood movie.
You know, I know Sarah said that she wants Jeremy Irons, but you know who? That guy, John Malkovich, he would be a good Boris Karloff.
I never thought of that, but now you mention it, I can see it.
Yeah, he would be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Jeremy Irons would be really good, but John Malkovich, it's one of those castings that it's like, you don't think about it, but then you think about it, it's like, yeah.
Definitely. And
he kind of has a
similar gaunt face.
And I think he could do the vocal pattern.
I think so. And it would be interesting since John Malkovich, he also was in the Nosferatu, that Shadow of the Vampire movie. While granted, not really anything to do with Boris Karloff, but Nosferatu is pretty close to being one of the Universal monster movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be in the catalog, but
very dang.
Ghost Rider, they're in the same universe, so why can it not happen? Yeah, that's true. That they both are in the same universe. So,
you know, this is one that I love in movies. Have you ever noticed this?
What?
Like, why is it in almost every movie, like in this type of movie, that people sleep naked? Have you noticed this?
I never thought about that, but according to a study that I read, it actually is good for your body if you do sleep nude, because it's supposed to help something with like your blood, as far as I recall. But you really have to make sure that you wiped your butt good.
Well, obviously, because you don't want any extra presents on your sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want to pull a Amber Turd.
Well, no. I think with that though, you will more have to make sure that you're.
The word here. A tight grip on the place. Inmates, guards.
I gotta say, this director for a low budget movie, these are really good actors. Like, I'm actually kind of. It's probably one of the best Tubi originals I've seen, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. And I hope all these actors will go on to be in. I hope that they all will get recognized I hope that they will all become famous.
Especially this the lead guy here. Like, he's really good. Who's playing the Asian girls?
Well, since he knows Rich and we know Rich, possibly could get him and Dean VF.
Man, oh my gosh, you're right. That guy does look like John Malkovich.
Go figure, right?
See?
Butcher.
Oh yeah. Did you ever see Shadow of the Vampire?
Yeah,
What were your thoughts on it?
I like it.
I also do.
It's kind of. I feel it's really underrated.
Oh, definitely. It's so underrated. It never got re-released on Blu-ray. It's so underrated. It's not on any streaming services.
Yeah, well,
That's sad.
didn't you have to spend $50 or something to find
Yeah,
a movie?
$60 to get it on DVD.
Dang.
It's a simple tissue extraction in and out. Quick.
I mean, I will say that yes, the movie was worth it, but
How much?
25K.
but yeah, Scream Factory needs to do like a Blu-ray release of that movie. Maybe I should like contact them and say, hey, you should put Shadow of the Vampire out on Blu-ray because it's way too expensive on DVD and it's not on any streaming services.
That would garner a lot of attention, honestly.
What they should do that when the new Nosferatu comes out. That would be perfect timing.
I know what 25 in cash does.
I think Tigger will steal the show. Probably.
I like complications.
You know who? You know, if they had the budget, you know who'd been a really good Tigger?
Who?
Jim Carrey.
Let's go.
Yes! And you're saying that to a humongous Jim Carrey fan.
Or even if you weren't. Okay, that girl's not wearing a bra.
But yeah, even if I wasn't,
Say your goodbyes.
he would be perfect.
Yes, although he wouldn't do it probably because I think Jim Carrey.
Either way,
I don't think he's like the biggest horror movie fan.
he's gonna get what he has.
He did do the number 23, and that's pretty close to being a horror movie. But yeah, I don't think he's really a fan of violent movies. And that's one of the things that I disagree with him about. Tony Montana. Interesting coincidence there, too, since Willem Dafoe was in both vampire movies, Shadow of the Vampire, the new Nosferatu. Yeah, I heard a rumor that he was going to play Count Orlok in the new movie. Would have been interesting to see that, but it pretty much just would have been a repeat of Shadow of the Vampire. So
You're right.
Isn't he playing Bulwer?
yeah, Willem Dafoe is going to play like the vampire hunter in it. So
Bulwer.
yeah, him. So yeah,
I don't know. I thought we'd have more time.
very interesting. But yeah, Bill Skarsgård, that is good casting.
Watch Sophia grow up.
Hopefully better than Pennywise.
And one day, no one was
Were you not a fan of him as Pennywise?
No.
And then one day,
Why?
Sophia found out her father was
I just felt like Tim Curry was more intimidating and the was just annoying.
let her be a daughter. He let her be a father.
Jim Carrey was in violent movies before, like The Cable Guy. Yeah, and even The Mask was pretty violent. Granted, not as violent as the comic books, but still violent. And of course, he was in Kick-Ass 2, and then later he said that he regretted being in it because of Sandy Hook. And that's also something that I disagree with Jim Carrey about. It's like, dude, you knew what you were getting yourself into when you did the movie. And on top of that, Kick-Ass 2 has nothing to do with the Sandy Hook shooting.
You can't
Nothing.
you can't control another man's actions based on the movie.
Exactly.
But let's move on from this because this could get not controversial, just borderline.
Yeah, so probably best that we change the subject.
No. You're gonna go straight through. You're gonna cut to the left, and then the loading docks are in the back.
Oh, now we have the drama scene.
Oh yeah, somebody did a deep fake of Jim Carrey as Jack Torrance in The Shining. Man, that was incredible. If you have to see it.
Oh yeah, it's very good. Sorry, again, sorry for this, folks. The cat's wanting it in an area that's closed off right now. I'm sitting there trying to distract the cat a little bit, but you know. And again, sorry for any background noise. That I have cats. The cat found a toy to play with. So if you guys hear any background noise, that's the background noise. So apologies to Rich and anybody else in the chat. Like I said, the only way I can watch streaming stuff is on this TV. This is the main TV where I don't have any, because my other TV doesn't have streaming.
Okay. Ghost Rider asked, "Do I think Christopher Robin will die in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2?" It's possible. Obviously, Pooh and his friends are maybe some of his friends might die.
I honestly hope Christopher Robin doesn't die, because you need the Van Helsing character for your horror movie, because you always need a balance of any type of horror movie. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, like, I love Jason, but that's a criticism I have of Jason, of the Friday the 13th movies, is there is the only closest is Tommy Jarvis, but you need that Van Helsing to Dracula character.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, I hope that they won't kill him off. But it's possible that they might. It's impossible for me to know because I haven't seen the movie yet. But it could go either way. It sounds like that they're going to make Christopher Robin the main character, which is what they should have done in the first movie instead of wasting all that time with all those bland female characters.
And then the interesting lines of dialogue with the painted window. I think the killer wrote that.
Well, and when I saw the movie in theaters, I was laughing and I yelled out, "Well, no, duh!"
Yeah,
like that was the stupidest line in the entire movie. Like, you didn't need to spell it out for us. You didn't need to have one of the characters say that, because we, the audience, are smart enough to figure that out.
I have a question.
What?
To that question, is that if that's the killer? Is the sky blue? Or does NASA use CGI?
Or that's like asking, is pizza a food?
You know what's a bigger question? Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh, the debate of all debates.
I don't know. I don't think so.
My personal opinion, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of trivial to argue about that. But me personally, would I eat it? Sure. But Would I go out there and say order it? No. Will I eat it? Sure, but I wouldn't go out of my way and do it.
I have the problem that I don't like pineapple, so there's that. And it's more why I don't like it is it's the classic excuse why most people don't like any type of food. I have a texture issue with it, literally.
Christopher has Robin too, and other girl characters. Yep, that's why Christopher Robin should have been the main character in the original movie. And the whole thing with that Maria girl and that troubled backstory of her and that stalker, they didn't really do much with that. And there really wasn't like what they should have done is have her say, okay, maybe not with the same stalker, but now is my chance to fight back against my trauma against this new stalker. But no, they didn't do that. But yeah, the whole thing with that girl and the trauma with that stalker, poorly done.
Doctor, here, give me the name.
Yes, let's get started.
Sounds familiar.
I will never forget when I saw Winnie the Pooh Blood Honey in the theaters. Right when the end credits rolled, there was this one girl who walked right past me and all my friends. She said in such an angry way, storming out of the theater, saying, "That was such a waste of time."
What were you expecting, Citizen Kane?
I wasn't expecting a great movie, but I was expecting like a fun time.
Yeah, no, you're watching a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Were you expecting? I mean, don't go into a Winnie the Pooh horror movie expecting Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
like that's gonna set yourself up for failure.
Yeah, and I will never forget when I saw it in theaters. During that moment, when Winnie the Pooh's eating that honey, he slowly turns up, and then he quickly turns to the camera. Everybody in the theater was roaring in laughter at that, and everybody also was laughing during the part where Pooh was fighting against.
Would you say it was one of your best theater experiences?
Yes, I will say that it was a better experience than some other experiences, but yeah,
like Five Nights at Freddy's.
That was one of the worst experiences ever. But anyways, during the part like where Pooh was fighting against that mob, definitely reminded me of Halloween Kills. During that part where the mobster was like, "You know what? I'll give you this. You're a tough guy," when he said that to Winnie the Pooh, everybody in my theater was roaring in laughter. It's like people were laughing at the movie when it was trying to be serious. So it kind of reminded me of that scene in The Disaster Artist during the premiere of The Room when it was supposed to be taken seriously, but yet the people in the audience weren't taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, dear cat.
Gravy. Hey, Simba. Simba, look.
Simba's passed out.
This is gravy. This is gravy.
Hey!
Hi. Hi.
So, no.
Tony Montana. You know, I'm something of a vampire hunter myself. Best comment ever. Best comment ever.
Maybe Tony Montana is vampire.
Okay. Yep.
So, Tony Montana, do you ever drink wine? I think Pooh has a lot of flashbacks in it when he has flashbacks. Yeah.
This is it.
Wonder how Rich would feel knowing that pretty much for a good chunk of watching his movie, we've been talking about the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Two completely different things.
This is kind of a commentary, but it's more of a commentary podcast, and we've never seen this movie before. But obviously, because this is the premiere. But man, I gotta say, I'm enjoying it.
I am.
Mm-hmm. I would say it would help if it did maybe have a bigger name attached to it. But all these actors have to start somewhere, so.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. You don't see that every day. Women going into the men's room.
Yeah.
The only person I know who went into the opposite room is Eric, because he really had to go.
Yeah, so what happened was I was in the drive-thru at Dairy Queen, and I had to go really bad, but there were cars behind me and cars in front of me. So I was trapped in the drive-thru, and I had to go really bad. Then as soon as I got my food, I instantly parked in the parking lot, booked it in there to the bathroom. But the sucky part is somebody was in the men's room. I had to go that bad where I was like, I don't care. I'm going into the women's room because I had to go that bad. And that's the only time I've ever had to use the women's room. But hey, that's a justifiable reason because I had to go that bad.
Yeah, it's either you go into the women's room or your pants.
I would rather the women's room.
Yeah.
And at that point, I didn't care I was going to get weird looks or not. Because I had to go.
But no, I gotta say, so far, the movie's just very basic, but it works,
It does.
It's and Rich, has written other things on Tubi, so I don't know, Rich has written other stuff for movies. If Rich could, I'm sure Eric would leave his link to his IMDb page in the comments so you guys can check him out.
Right.
Who knows? Eric and I could be watching the next big Academy Award winner, screenwriting. You might want to check some of the comments.
Okay, this right here is reminding me of Saw 4.
Guess I'm not there yet. I'm just on a... You might want to look at some of the comments, dude.
What? You can't do this to me. Did I destroy the toilet? That I did.
Do you feel sorry for the woman that went in after you?
Yeah, but you gotta go.
Hey, guess what? I've been in the toilet after some women. Oh my gosh. And we're talking probably at Dairy, especially. Guess what? I was at Taco Bell one time, and if the world was a cartoon, when this woman walks out, just the green fumes would just be coming out of the toilet.
Oh,
that's
God.
How bad it was. And then guess what? I was having Taco Bell. I was not hungry after that. I just kind of got up and left.
Oh gosh.
Yes, Ghost Rider, the funeral's tomorrow for the toilet. Man, sorry, Rich, we're watching the movie, but we're talking about Winnie the Pooh and toilets. But hey, Rich has said when we were talking to him that he appreciates a good fart joke because fart jokes are funny.
I mean,
and by the way, Rich, if you're watching this, I really want to see that debate with you and Rambo Raff on the art of a fart joke.
Yeah, do it.
Please, paid request.
Do it, man.
Because that would be a funny paid request. And the fact that Rambo Raff has to literally title it the art of a fart joke.
Yeah, and who knows? Now, I have made it very clear that the 4 things that piss me off movie is going to be the last things that piss me off movie for a while because I want to move on. But I wouldn't be against eventually doing a 5th movie, like years down the road. And, you know, I wouldn't be against having Rich write the script for an eventual 5th.
I'll tell you what, Eric, maybe for the 10-year anniversary of things that piss me off, right?
Do you mean the 10-year anniversary of the...
No. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not. Not your 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
2029.
Oh my God, I'm going to feel old at that time. And that's going to make Ghost Rider feel old too. But yeah, Ghost Rider, so good news. I mentioned I was having editing problems for the 3rd movie. So I found a new editing software, and yeah, editing is getting back on track for the 3rd movie. So yeah, you know how much I sacrificed. You know, a lot of people have been saying William Dafoe would make a great Joker. He would.
He would. Although at this point, I think it would work better as the voice now, like it's something animated.
Yeah.
Just because William Dafoe is, I'm not gonna sit there and say he's too old, but unless like you do an older
Joker, yeah,
an older Batman, like. Honestly,
I think that could work.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually would rather see Willem. If I could travel back in time, I think I would rather pick William Dafoe than Jared Leto.
Willem Dafoe is what? Sorry.
I would pick Willem Dafoe over Jared Leto.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would say that.
In retrospect, now like you were thinking, like, Jared Leto would be a good choice for the Joker, but then he just got too weird.
Funny because, when the movie came out, people were complaining, saying that the Joker was barely in it. Ghost Rider. Do I think Robert Pattinson could make a surprise appearance in Joker 2? I don't think so, because I'm pretty sure that the Robert Pattinson Batman and the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I'm pretty sure that those are supposed to be in 2 different timelines.
Well, and was it the Joker in the Batman?
Yes. There is a deleted scene of the Joker, completely different Joker. A very creepy Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, you can't interrupt Dr. Lang's review. He's with us. I told him everything. They knew we're here. The warden's on his way.
All right. No, I'm not finished. I need more time. You have about 5 minutes. I need 20.
No, we are not leaving here without that too. Why are you stopping me?
There's enough for you to get what we need.
What?
Check out the entire room.
Him.
And you know he's already gone. We're gonna pull the plug later today anyway.
If that means we're doing it, we're ending his life. What's your status? I'm late as long as I could.
Nobody's policy.
Alien appear onto us. They know. What would leave you?
Ghost Rider, do you think the creepy Joker will steal the show? I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the Batman sequel, so probably. I also really want them to do Mr. Freeze.
Well, I really want them to. I agree. Mr. Freeze deserves another shot.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I really think that they should do Mr. Freeze, and everybody knows my choice for Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, you said Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Interesting choice.
But I think if Vin Diesel, like, think about it. If you didn't get Fast and the Furious Vin Diesel, like, he actually plays something different besides Riddick, you know, and Groot and everything, and you, like, get an intimidating Vin Diesel.
That could
like,
work.
Like, imagine, like, I think Vin Diesel's capable of it. Like, imagine, like, a Vin Diesel, like, acting like Darth Vader. Just, no pun intended. No pun intended. Imagine just a Vin Diesel that's cold. No pun intended. Like, imagine that I can't
talk about a cold shoulder.
Imagine Vin Diesel just sitting there, not with the cheesy Arnold stuff, but like, you know, like imagine just Vin Diesel's voice.
That really, really deep voice.
Yeah, and then he sits there and says one of the lines that, you know, welcome to, I don't know, Batman. Well, Batman, welcome to the frozen hell.
That would be awesome.
But, and you know who also they should get?
Who?
Doctor Strange. Hugo Strange, not Dr. Hugo Strange. As far as who could play Dr. Hugo Strange, I don't
Robert Williams would have been a great choice, but obviously that won't happen now. But who could they get now?
No, you go that way.
Seymour Hoffman would have been a good choice, but he's dead too.
Willem Dafoe.
Yes!
Like, he would be perfect.
Oh, definitely. And yes, Jurassic Floyd, I did see it, the trailer for Sonic 3. I actually did a video talking about that and how Jim Carrey's coming back for Sonic 3. I'm really happy about that. Do I think Scarecrow movie will be rated R, PG-13? I think you asked me that before, but it would make sense to make it rated R because Scarecrow is that kind of character. But if they made it PG-13, I can see why.
Apparently.
Hey, Sophie, you forgot to close the door.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a drink.
You told me to do something. You understand what I'm saying? You be careful, okay, precious cargo. Go, go, go. D, where is someone? D. Up ahead. Left. Oh, that's calls now.
Oh, and I missed the last scene, but hey, good movie.
I think we got really delayed because I got more ads than you did at one point.
Right.
Let me just pause it, see how far I'm along. Okay, I have 7 minutes left.
All right. Well, since the movie's over on my end.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this has quite the crew for a low budget movie.
Well, I don't know what the budget was specifically. We never asked, but I'd be kind of curious.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the exact same thing.
Gotta love the warden getting the shotgun.
Right.
Dude, why are you holding the gun like that? Like, why would you hold a shotgun like that? That's weird.
Right.
Like, you should put the butt. That's what it's called, people. The butt of the gun. Like, right between your armpit or something. You're holding it weird.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. Rich, if you wrote that, then dude. Or maybe that was the director, but like that doesn't even look cool. That just looks stupid.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of things that a script writer puts in isn't always going to make it in. I mean, to be fair, this movie did have 2 script writers, the director and also Rich.
Yeah.
Baby's footage. Cell block A. It's overlocked.
But oh dang it.
Please. Okay.
But yeah, I actually thought that the movie was going to go on a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah, it's basic. It was like a good hour and 30 minutes, pretty much, right?
Yep.
So, like I said, sorry folks for I'm delayed. Blame my Tubi. It gave me 6 ads one time, and I think it only gave Eric pretty much 3 ads, right?
Yeah.
But hey, we can't control how many ads you get on Tubi.
Nope. And now I'm scrolling through my Tubi. Lon Chaney's The Phantom of the Opera. Next year, that turns 100 years old.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
And then sadly, that set's not there anymore, thanks to Harry Potter.
Yeah. That is sad. From what I heard, I believe I heard Universal now actually regrets doing that. I'm like, well,
I vow I vow when RKO Adventures happens, I will rebuild the set to scale. I promise everybody that. When RKO Adventures happens, I will rebuild that set to scale.
Yeah, and I just really wish that they at least could have moved it.
Yeah.
If that was possible.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I don't like Harry Potter.
All he makes accounted for?
I can see why.
That's done.
Then we did our job.
Because Harry Potter removes history. Expectrum Patronum.
Dr. Rahman speaking.
Hey, you know that miracle we were talking about? It's on its way, okay? We'll be there in less than an hour.
Got it. Hey, we got incoming.
Yeah, like that set was a piece of movie history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was the oldest surviving movie set.
Yeah. At least, like, it should have been a museum or something.
It should have been. But yeah, we got Lynn Lugosi on and Sarah Karloff on. I really hope that someday that we can get Ron. I hope we can get Ron Chaney on.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
I hope so. I mean, at least I got autographs like from Ron Chaney, but
Eric. Cross your toes. I can't cross both fingers because I'm holding my phone. But I... Hold on. Look.
Your family.
Okay. Thank goodness, Rich, the little girl didn't die.
yeah, luckily.
Because if you killed the little girl, Rich, I'm giving you a negative review. Because I'm okay with killing kids, but like okay, that's gonna to make you sound like
I was gonna say, do you realize just how awful that sounds?
Yeah, okay. Let me rephrase that. And for the contents of the story, I'm okay with killing kids, but it depends on the story. Like, if it's based on a true story, then yeah. But as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, fudge. I'm gonna get crap for that one. I just know it.
You are.
Yeah. Man, people in the comments are just gonna be sitting there, like, you're making fun of me now.
Haley told me to do something about it. Leave your truths, right?
Honestly,
You be careful, okay? Precious cargo.
I wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to this. Honestly.
Right. Well, if it's a big enough hit.
Maybe. Yeah, then Rich could have his first franchise, right?
Yep. Or, Dracula versus Frankenstein could.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I forgot.
Well, I gotta admit that these. Okay, I finished. Finally, right, Eric?
Yeah, finally. Jeez Louise.
I know. All right. Well,
Ghost Rider says, I hope they can make other feels bad for the Scarecrow like they did with Joker. Well, it's possible.
yes.
Anyway, what were your thoughts on the movie all in all?
I've seen some Tubi originals. I'm not going to mention them by name because this is professional, but this is probably one of the better ones I've seen, honestly.
Oh yeah,
I would love to get honestly, I would love to get Rambo Raph's opinion on it because he said all Tubi originals suck. I would love to get Rambo Raph's honest opinion about it because I think Rambo Raph, Like, I'm gonna be like, dude, why are you ranting about this? It's a simple story, right?
Right, and Ramorav has like movies that have had simple plots, like Jaws, Halloween, the
Yeah,
original.
this is simple. It works, and it's just a heist. It's a heist movie. But what I at least liked about it is Eric. Okay, Eric knows what I mean by this. You know, I'm sure you do, Eric. But like, it. How do I word this in a way that's not? It was an all-female cast, but like they didn't sit there and make it obvious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they didn't bring attention to it.
Yeah, like we're not blind. We can see that. You know, I appreciate that because, you know, you should put your story first, not your opinions.
Yep.
And so I appreciate that about it. So I like to rate movies out of. I do like to rate movies out of 5 stars. Honestly, for a Tubi original, because I've seen a lot of Tubi originals, and some of them, listen, some of the directors, some directors on Tubi originals, listen, maybe there were circumstances why your movie was not the best. I get that because limitations and etc. Especially if you're making low budget movies.
Yep, and especially with making my movies, I've had limitations too. Like I don't have as much time to do many takes, especially considering that my actors have my actors have lives.
Exactly. So what I'm going to say is, for a Tubi original, and honestly, I don't usually even give these ratings for mainstream movies because no movie's perfect. But I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying it because I know Rich, and I'm trying to get brownie points with Rich.
Right.
Because Rich does understand opinions. I'm going to say 5 out of 5 for a Tubi original.
Awesome.
What would you say, Eric?
Well, no movie's perfect. I mean, even my favorite movies like Lion King and Jaws, they're not perfect either.
No.
I would say like 4.5.
Okay, so I think we're pretty much in an agreement, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I say 5 out of 5 just because, like, for a Tubi original, I mean, it could be a lot worse. I've seen Tubi originals that look like they were literally shot on an iPhone 1 with horrible lighting. Like, where you can obviously tell it's a green screen lighting.
And like, a good example of that, I believe, was in Birdemic 2, where there's a shot where a girl was supposed to be swimming underwater, where it's supposed to be like a shot of like from like a shot from like the lower half of her body, but you can so obviously tell that it's a green screen shot.
Right.
So no. Yeah, Birdemic. Oh god, that movie. Did you ever see that movie?
Unfortunately.
The bird sound effects got annoying.
Yeah, I saw. Let's put it this way: I saw that on a date, and I was enjoying the date rather than the movie.
I can see why.
Because, Eric, it's definitely one of those movies.
It is. Oh yeah, what's funny? On April Fool's Day a year ago, that they had a screening of that movie in my area on April Fool's Day.
Was it a joke?
Well, they actually did screen it on April Fool's Day, but
That'd be really funny.
What?
Like if you think you're gonna have a screening of Birdemic, but then it's like The Godfather or something on April Fool's Day.
That would have been funny.
Okay, Kat, get off of the phone. But no, so no, I mean, I think that this was honestly probably very good. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I would consider seeing it again.
I would, yeah.
Yeah, I would actually show other people to it. You know, and once the stream ends, we'll sit there and definitely send a link to Rich, and then he can, you know, definitely Rich. I would tell you, go out and promote this. Like yeah, send this for paid request. For Fabio, Italian Stallion 51, Zero Cool. I'm sure they will all review it because hey, this was pretty good. It was simple, to the point, and hey, I'm not gonna lie. Some of those women, good looking, and they could actually act.
Yep. Yeah, it actually had pretty decent acting, and it's possible that maybe some of those actors may cross over to DVF, and maybe and maybe that same crew will cross over to DVF.
Maybe. So,
and since I would imagine that Rich has connections to the people who funded that movie, it could possibly help us to get our feature films funded.
There you go. So, I think
a film funded is hard.
Yes, I think that this has reached a closing point. But yeah, just definitely, I would say to everybody should have Tubi. If you have Roku or any other type of streaming service, mount to streaming service, you should have Tubi. If not, download it. It's free. And go watch Final Heist. I would say the acting was good. It was simplistic, but it worked. And like it doesn't have like a lot of star sets you would recognize, which I will say, honestly, is a nitpick of mine. But it's not a nitpick that's like going to give me a negative review. Oh, the movie needed a star. That's just stupid.
It is, yeah, because a movie doesn't need to have a star in order for it to be good.
Exactly. So I say that could definitely help it. Like, I mean, even if you got like, I don't know, like at least a star to maybe play the warden or something. I think that could have helped. But the guy who played the warden did a very good job, I thought. He, like I said, he was kind of like a cross between Kevin Kline and Burt Reynolds. So
right, and
I like.
Oh yeah, so I just thought of this. It would be really funny if they made a sequel, because this movie is called Final Heist. So, and then it would be really funny if the subtitle wasn't so final after all.
No, that should be the tagline. Well,
yeah.
Well, yeah. I honestly think since this movie did play it up seriously, if basically the sequel should go like full on comedic, like to the point where it's stupidly funny.
So are you talking about like things that piss me off level?
I mean, I'm thinking like maybe honestly like a spoof of heist movies if they make a sequel. Because this movie took it seriously, and I don't really know where the story could go for a sequel.
I don't know, but maybe Rich could come up with something.
There you go. So, I think we've kind of hit a point where it's kind of ended. So, yeah, is Eric closing thoughts?
Pretty good movie. Looking forward to Rich's next movies. Looking forward to working with him for Dracula versus the Frankenstein monster. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that he could do something that he loves while like having that be your job.
Especially something that can, put food on the table for your family. You know, and not just ramen noodle food. I love
actual food.
I love ramen noodles though, but
I do too.
Not exactly the best food. So yeah, definitely check this movie out. And Rich, sorry you couldn't join us, but hey, I get it. You're probably sleeping.
Yeah.
And
probably.
but I'm sure Eric will definitely send you the link. And since this is episode 25, hopefully people can watch this in the future when Sit Down by the Fire is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes. Because I actually think that 30 is a good episode to start doing that. Because I think we need content to get on Sit Down by the Fire. So when we get to episode 30, then we will have it on those sites. So if you're watching this on Apple, I guess Apple Podcasts in the future.
And since that I finally got better editing software, I can finally start to edit the second Sarah Karloff interview. I can finally edit the Little Mermaid remake rant. I can work on the third movie more. So
yeah, so definitely though, when you watch this in the future, and you are on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, whatever other podcast sites are out there, just be sure to give us a glowing 5-star review. Because I think that what made this fun is first time we've seen this movie, but we just we talked about whatever, but we also talked about the movie, and
we did. But yeah, all the Winnie the Pooh stuff,
and toilet.
Yeah, and the toilet stuff. But yeah, it was just answering, fan questions in the live chat, and that's fine. But yeah, this so far was the first Sit Down by the Fire episode to be live.
Yeah, we try to avoid doing it live just because we don't want to get unnecessary guests. But Eric and I kind of figured, what, this is for a friend of the show, and a screenwriter who honestly we should just give free support to for his family.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, I'm gonna sit there quote Joe Bob Briggs here, and this is from Ty Romulus Nyberg. 5 stars. Check it out.
Yeah.
What do you want to say, Eric?
I'll say. So since you mentioned that, I will quote Siskel and Ebert. 2 thumbs up.
Way up, or just 2 thumbs up?
Way up.
All right. Awesome. So, this is Ty with Sit Down by the Fire.
And I'm Eric Vierthaler of Vierthaler Studios. And thank you all for watching.